Alright, so today we're going to be talking about ratios and proportional relationships. I'm shooting this screencast and then we'll be able to apply our knowledge of the ratios, proportional relationships, and some new technology in class on Tuesday, May 1st. So moving forward, I'm going to go over some definitions first. If you want to write some notes, go right ahead. Starting with ratios. A ratio analyzes a relationship between two different things. So a quick example of that is in this picture we have circles and squares. So a ratio is 8 to 4, or 8, you can use that colon, the two dots, and it still is read 8 to 4, even though you don't have that word in between. So we're looking at 8 circles to 4 squares. Reducing the ratio, we have some groups. As you can see, I put some lines in between the circles and squares, and we have 4 groups of the same elements. So now we have 2 circles for every 1 square. So now we have the ratio reduced to 2 to 1. Again, if you didn't have this drawn out, you would be able to kind of look at 8 and 4 and say, I can divide both of those by 4 and get a ratio of 2 to 1, and it would mean the same thing. 2 circles to 1 square, or 8 circles to 4 squares. For ratios, we have a lot of different ways that you can include ratios in your real life. So if you're thinking about making a recipe, there's a lot of ratios in that. Going to the grocery store, a lot of different options. I have an example that I'm going to go through, and we're going to do a real world application of ratios and then do some tables on Desmos. So starting, the problem that I came up with was, for every hour you chew gum, you burn approximately 11 calories. This is actually true. I found it on the internet, because everything on the internet is for sure true. How many calories would you burn in 1 day, 1 week, and 1 month? So I'm saying that 1 month is 30 days. The reason why I'm pointing that out is because we really have to be careful about our units. We were given 1 ratio. We're going to have approximately 11 calories per 1 day, or 1 hour. And we want to find how many you would burn in 1 day, 1 week, 1 month. Again, day, week, and month are not in terms of hours, so we're going to have to deal with that here in a second. Moving forward, I put this information into a chart. So we have 1 hour for 1 hour of gum chewed is 11 calories. I converted all my units into hours. I would recommend that you do that on your own. Take a moment, pause the video, try out these conversions. Again, we worked on conversions a few weeks ago in class, and some outside of class. So create your conversion tables, get all your units into hours, so then we can calculate our calories. Moving forward, so it's really nice. We have one example of a ratio, 11 to 1. That's going to stay consistent as you increase your hours. So we're going to use that to help us out. What we're going to do is create a equation with an unknown variable, and we're going to solve for that variable using cross multiplication. So moving forward, I have 11 calories for every 1 hour is going to equal a question mark of calories, our unknown variable, over 24 hours. Again, 24 hours is representing that 1 day that we needed to calculate. From here, we're going to cross multiply. So next, we have 11 calories times 24 equals question mark of calories times 1 hour. From there, you multiply out on both sides, and you will get 264 calories. So if you look back just for a second, this will give you 264 calorie hours, and then you'll divide by 1 hour over here, so that will cross out your labels to get you that question mark equals 264 calories. Again, you're going to repeat that for 168 hours, which is our week, and then 720, which will be our month or 30 days. Repeating that same cross multiplication process. I encourage you, pause this video, go on your own, try to calculate them out, because here in a minute I'm going to click to the next slide and give you those answers. So to finish filling out our table, we have our complete table of hours chewed and calories burned. These are the answers that I got. Test it out on your own, check them out, see if you got the right answers. From here, we can take these values and put them into ordered pairs. So hours chewed will be my X value, and then calories burned will be my Y value, because how many calories I burn is dependent on how many hours I chew that gum. So, for example, we'll have an ordered pair 111, 24, 264, etc. So I put those together here, and from here we can use those ordered pairs to graph on Desmos. So if you move forward to Desmos, I'm going to see if I can open this up a little bit. Nope, it won't let me. But okay, so we are on Desmos right now. I'm going to have you go do this on your own with me. So you are on Desmos. This is just the first page, Desmos graphing. I'm clicking up here to add an item, and I click table. From here, I'm going to put in those X and Y values that we just had on the slides before. I have those written down, so I'm just going to fill them in. Again, these are the exact values that we had on the slides. Our X values being our hours chewed, and then our Y values being the calories burned. And then the last one is 720 and 7,920. Alright, so I entered in all that information. I'm finished with my table and my coordinates, and I look over to my graph and I don't see anything. That's because none of my coordinates are in my domain and range that I had viewed. Again, 1 and 11. Well, 11 isn't even on my graph right now, so I'm going to need to zoom out. There's my point 111. As I continue to zoom out, I can see more of my points coming in, making sure I get into that domain and range. So, for a review, this is an example of a ratio problem, and we were able to use our ratio given to calculate some more values with that ratio. So now we know how many calories are burned chewing gum in a day, a week, and a month, and then we are able to see those values on a graph. We will use this knowledge in class to work through proportional and non-proportional relationships. So if you have any questions about these tables or how I got my values using my ratios and cross multiplication, you can email me or talk to me at the beginning of class and I can clarify that up. Otherwise, we'll be using these tables and this graph on Tuesday. No need to save this exact one, but you'll just be using the same techniques. So I will see you then. Thank you for watching.